Do you believe in that, the dimensional Bigfoot?
I think there are states of consciousness that you can reach, whether it's under duress, fear, anxiety, combination of those things. There's psychiatric drugs, psychedelic drugs, but I think there's a place that you could reach where you could see into other possibilities. I think you can see things that aren't necessarily there in a physical sense, but you're there with them. They're there with you.
Right.
They don't exist, but you can see them, and it's not a hallucination.
Right.
It's like you're tapping into like the grayness in between universes, in between dimensions. You're tapping into this area of weirdness.
Yeah.
And this area of weirdness, I think, is ghosts. I think this area of weirdness is goblins and things that people see sometimes. I don't think they're real. I don't think anybody's going to get eaten by a goblin. But I do think that there's too many fucking stories of elves for me not to think that someone reached some state of mind where they saw like a little person in the woods talking to them.
Right.
And that little person might be real. It just might not be a physical thing that you could put on a scale.
They call it the astral realm.
You know, there might be something there.
Yeah, I think
There's just too many stories. That the problem with stories being similar is people hear the stories and then their imagination takes over and they depict their thing similar to the story that they've heard. That's a problem, but like a copycat bullshit artist problem. But there's also too many stories of elves, man.
Yeah.
There's too many of those stories, and there's too many depictions of elves that are dancing around mushrooms. Like, fucking duh. Like, duh. Like, maybe they're real. Like, maybe you're being ignorant and so silly and so cocky, especially people that have no psychedelic experience.
Right.
Those babies. Those fucking babies. When they talk to you about the damage it does and the danger it does while they're fat and out of shape, shut the fuck up.
Stop.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You literally don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You have no idea what's possible.
Right.
You're living in this fucking black and white TV world.
And you've been brainwashed. I mean, don't forget that. Like, they went through the war on drugs. They got indoctrinated into this insane
They have to do it if they're experts in the field, whatever field is represented, you know, like whatever sciences that have to do with neurochemistry.
I got you. You mean the fashionable attitude people who are like trying to protect their careers.
Have to.
Even though inside they know.
Right. So all of the professors who we go to as experts are all compromised, at least in some way. A lot of them. I shouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them. Just by virtue, if you stick your neck out and say, I like to use psilocybin, like people are like, what?
Well,
You're a crazy drug addict.
But dude, like, you know, like Doblin, he's having meetings in the fucking Pentagon.
Right. I think the consciousness has changed. The zeitgeist has changed. And it has because of the internet. Because, you know, you can hear Terrence McKenna lectures. You can hear Alan Watts. You can hear people talking about it. You could watch documentaries on psychedelics. You could see what MAPS has done. You can see all the podcasts that Doblin's gone on. I mean, how many people are we talking about that have been exposed to these ideas that were never exposed to them when we were kids?
Yeah.
When we were kids, when you and I were kids, when we were in high school, you didn't hear fucking shit. There's this one dude who was a drug addict, and he hung out over there, and he's a loser. And you didn't hear a peep about shamanic rituals and Gordon Wasson going down to Mexico and getting all the mushrooms and, you know, and doing these ceremonies with these traditional shaman down. You didn't hear any of that. You didn't hear any of it.
Nothing.
Nobody knew what the fuck was going on when we were kids. They silenced it. They threw water on one of the biggest cultural revolutions that's documentable without the use of the internet.
Right.
And that was the psychedelic revolution of the 1960s. It changed music. It changed movies. It changed comedy. It changed everything.
Yeah.
Fucking everything. Every single thing got changed. And in a radical leap. If you look at the 1950s, you look at the 1960s, it's like, woo, something happened. Look at the cars got cooler. The music sounded better. Like, that's a big cultural shift.
And you know who we have to thank for that? The CIA.
Yeah, CIA.
The CIA.
Experimenting with psychedelics.
The CIA is the reason that all these LSD studies happen. And, like, who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Ken Kesey.
Yeah.
Ken Kesey apparently was in one of these LSD experiments. So, like, and he's just one of many great artists who accidentally got, like, liberated mentally by the fucking CIA. And you know what I mean? They were just like, we want to use this to interrogate people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you've got Jimi Hendrix. And they're like, well, we didn't expect that.